What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's happening? I'm back at you again with another one. You know, again with another one. You know, again. Excuse me for that. Oh, it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. Thank you. Thank you for your for being patient with me. Thank you for being patient with me. I know it's been a while. It's been probably what a week. So to me, that's been a while. Because normally I'm up here every day or every other day. But I want to say thank you for tuning in. I know you could have been anywhere else. With that being said, I want to say thank you for tuning in to Truth, where the truth shall set you free by any means necessary. And I'm definitely talking about mentally. It also could be physically. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to give it like 5 minutes. I'm gonna wait for some people to tune in before I begin. You know. Hope everyone is having a good day. Hey, stop that. Oh man. All right, give me a second, y'all. I'll be right back. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Back at you. Back at you again. Um. So, as I said, I'm gonna wait for some people to tune in before I begin. You know what I'm saying? Um. Yeah, pretty much. It's gonna be a good one. You know. Man, man, it's been a minute. Shit. You know what I mean? Tuning in, wait for some people to log in. I know it's Friday. I normally start this a little late. Not around this time, but I know a lot of people is at work right now. But y'all I get it later on. Y'all gonna see me up there. I'm like, okay, okay, Slugger then went in today. I ain't know. But I'm pretty sure you got the notification. All right, you know what? Let me start off. For those who will tune in to it later, they will tune in, and I'm sure those who gonna tune in while I'm in the mix of things. But yeah, just go back, cause trust me, man, it's gonna be good. Um, so actually, not go back, cause I ain't even start yet, but I'm about to start right now. So let's tune in. Let's go. So, um, for the past 2 or 3 days, I've been trying to do this show. This show pretty much is about child support, tactics against child support. Why did I use that language? I'm not talking about child support against your mother. I mean, your baby mother or your baby father. Listen to the language. Tactics against child support. The definition of tactics is an action or a strategically, carefully planned action for a specific purpose, right? And I made this because I know a lot of people don't know about child support. You know what I mean? Especially the guys. And me being on child support inspired me to do this lecture. You know what I mean? Other people inspired me for being peeping toms and what I mean, stalking me and all that. So I had to figure something out. I said, boom, I got a new lecture. Tactics against child support. And before I begin, this is not this is not a this is not a tactic for you to go against your baby mother. I'm not here for that. This is not a tactic for you to go against your baby father. I'm not here for that. I'm not condoning it. I'm not promoting it. Here for the knowledge piece. I'm not promoting it. I'm just giving you the tactics that you need to use if you ever get put on child support. And this goes for men and women. So, like I said, I try to do this lecture like 3 times. Last week it was raining. It was raining bad. I figured, yeah, this would be the perfect time to start doing the podcast since everybody be home. You know what I mean? But it was a bad thing because it seems like everybody was live that day, and especially with the rain and the satellites, it was just messing up everything. So I was like, you know what? I'll come back. I try to come back the next day. It wasn't working. I see what's going on with this damn thing, man. I said maybe it's the devil. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's saying they don't want me preaching this God's word because this what I'm preaching is righteous word. And when I say preaching, I don't mean like preaching like you hear at church. I'm talking about preaching the word of God, the wisdom, the positive, the positive things that inspire someone and motivate someone to do right. That's what I'm talking about. So we're gonna get into it. Tactics against child support. Last time I was speaking about the science of sperm, and it was so important that I had to talk about that. But prior to me getting into that, I want to read something to you from the Bible. Since a lot of people is religious, especially those that get on my show, they watch me, and I know they religious people because most of us was all born. I mean, most of us was all raised in a household that's Christianity. They always talk about Jesus, even if it's Christianity, with Christian, what's the Episcopalian, whatever it is that you which is your religious background. Long as you got God in your heart, you can feel where I'm coming from. So let me read this. It says the Bible says God created children, considers them a gift, and has a plan for each of them. Now here it is, God saying that a child is a gift. It's a gift for me and you because He already created us, but He don't want us to be lonely, so He gives us the power of offspring. So now, hold on. Sorry about that, y'all. So now the man has this sperm, which is powerful. He really has no control of the sperm, but when he releases it after his sexual activities, right? Now, when he released the sperm, which is probably millions or billions of sperm cells, they're traveling to the destination of the egg. You don't have no control of it. I don't have no control of it. Nobody has any control of it but God. This sperm, this liquid is alive. It's not dead. This is why I don't agree to abortions. Because once a sperm is traveling, it's alive. Matter of fact, sperm is always alive. You know what I'm saying? So this sperm is traveling to the egg. They said the sperm can travel up to 5 days. Check that out. 5 days. And its destination is the egg. It has a purpose. Now we may plan the pregnancy, women, y'all know your days, y'all ovulate, and you tell us, and bingo, we plan a date to have sex, and we get pregnant, right? Okay. But some of us, it happens by accident. We make our leaders, we make our special children by accident. Sometimes we don't plan it. And this is why back in those ancient times, they didn't promote, masturbation like that because they felt that the sperm is a precious thing that God gives you. This is why weddings are planned and they get married, then they have children. They don't waste the sperm. Sperm is very important. Now, the sperm gets into this egg, right? Gets to its destination. Sometimes it takes the woman 3 weeks to 2 weeks to start feeling some symptoms. So in the process of this, in penetrating the egg, it started to do its work. It looks like the father 100%, but then it demotes itself to intermingle with the woman's DNA, transforming the sperm to look like her or him. Now, I know sometimes some children don't look like one of their parents. You know what I'm saying? Because my son don't look nothing like his mother. He looks everything like me. You won't believe that that's his mother, but that's his mother, right? So sometimes the child don't look like one of the parents, but sometimes they look like both, right? So now you're happy, you know, y'all pregnant, y'all about to have a baby. You trying to figure out what you gonna have. I want a boy. You know us, man. We want a boy. You like, I want a girl, do her hair, get her nails done. You know, you all both happy. Then you start telling the family and everything. You like, yo, oh, I'm pregnant. You're so happy. You telling your brothers, everybody giving you a round of applause. You know, it's a beautiful thing. The relationship starts off beautiful, of course, and the baby comes, right? Now, when the baby comes and you're seeing it come out, fathers, you so captivated, you ain't paying attention to nothing. You ain't paying attention to your phone. You ain't texting. You ain't doing anything. It's just you paying attention to the baby that's coming out the womb, and you paying attention to the woman that's delivering the baby. Because that's how I was. Hype, excited, happy, felt like crying. And then they pulled the baby out, and then they placed the baby in your arms, and you so happy, she's so happy. You looking at each other, you look at her, trying to, yeah, you look like me. You know how that go, right? And then right then and there, the doctor or the nurse, they slip you a clipboard with a piece of paper on it. And they say, could you sign this? And you like, sign what? You know us. In this country, we always ask, oh, sign what? And they say, well, no, it's okay. It's nothing serious. It's just, this is how they do. It's nothing serious. It's just a piece of paper that's saying that you're the father and that you acknowledge the paternity. And you know us men, we're hyped. We're happy. We're like, what? Yeah, I want a son. I want my name on the birth certificate. Because you don't want to be like other men. Some that was in jail, some that's dead, and they're not there to see a precious moment like that. And you want your name, your John Hancock, on the piece of paper. Now, what you are actually signing is called the acknowledgement of paternity, which is also called the acknowledgement of child support. And they put in little fine letters on the piece of paper. They put in little fine letters. You don't read it because you, in your mind, you assume you already know what this is all about. But this is how they get us. See, hospitals, they get funded by the government, and they have to have a certain amount of names on the paternity papers in order to get kickbacks. So does the courts. So now you sign this paper, you're happy, everything is going good, the relationship is going on, you're raising this child, and all of a sudden, things change. And you like, what's happening? What's going on between me and this woman? Or man, you may say that, ladies. And things don't work out. And next thing you know, you put in for child support. Let's say the ladies, right? You put in for child support. Because I'm gonna just say ladies first, because it's very well known for ladies to put men on child support first. Is that right? Okay. So now the ladies put you in for child support. You upset. I know. But it's the reason why she's putting you on child support, because they already made the women believe that they're there to help her, that they're there to make sure this low down bum pays her the money that she deserves for the child. So you're upset now. You go to court, you have to pay so and so and so, so you're upset. Now look, when you go to court, right? Well, first of all, I want to say this, that child support is a corporation. Child support has nothing to do with technically law. Well, it does in a way, but it's really not a corporation that is built under the court system. No, it's actually a corporation that is built like a credit card company. That's all child support is. What they do is they come in as middlemen. Because see, years ago, women used to complain that these deadbeat fathers out here doesn't take care of their children. And they run around with all these cars, all this jewelry, all this money, and yet they're not taking care of their kids. Some of them is taking care of kids that's not even theirs, but they won't even take care of their own if they have the chance. So Uh, the system, of course, they sees this. They sees it as an opportunity. This system always sees things as an opportunity when they want to make money. So now they go to the health department and they finance this program called the Child Support Agency. Yes, they go to the health department. Excuse me. They go to Department of Health and they open up the Child Support Agency. They do not go to the courts. Now, what the Child Support Agency does, they contact the deputy clerk of the courts and they let them know what is going on. Of course, they already know all the laws is passed down through these channels of the court system. Well, really not laws, but you could say laws, but it's not laws where you could go to jail because this is not a criminal activity. This is non-criminal. This is just child support. Now, what they do is they contact you, you go down there. Now look, when you go down there, right? I understand that it's quite intimidating. No, it really is. Because you get served, you look, you see versus this and versus that. And that's how I was. And I was like, oh man, here we go. And then you get you go to court and you see it and you're like, yes, this is the court, this is family court. You're intimidated, there's lawyers around. Listen, it's just being held at family court. There is no such thing as judges at family court. They are called administrative judges. They are administrative. Administrative means a person who holds hearings. They have to hold hearings. These administrative judges, they have to hold hearings. First of all, they have to have at least 7 years as a lawyer. All right. They have to have 7 years as a lawyer with their license. They have to have what's the word I'm looking for? Experience in trial, experience in court hearings. Yeah, pretty much that's it. They have to have those two, or three. Now, these administrative judges, when you go there, they're not in robes. They're wearing regular clothes. They're probably sipping a soda while they're on record like this with a microphone, and they be on computers. You looking, you're like, wait a minute, I thought I was going to court. Now, when you go to court, the first thing I suggest you do, right, is get a lawyer. The reason why I say get a lawyer because child support, they get money from you and they get money from the mother and she don't even know it. They suspend your license for lack of payment. They put you in jail for lack of payment, and they're not supposed to. They're not supposed to really put you in jail. This is actually against the 14th Amendment. You cannot go to jail. Excuse me, the 4th Amendment. You cannot go to jail for debt. Am I right? Y'all follow me? You can't go to jail for debt. Child support is a debt, is no criminal activity. Okay? Now, here it is. You don't pay child support, and they put you in jail. You do not have a criminal record. Never been arrested before. Yet they lock you up, put you in the bullpens, put you on Rikers Island or wherever you at with criminals who have a criminal record or who are career criminals. Some have robbery, some have assault, some have been locked up for guns before, and you ain't never been locked up in your life, and yet you inside of there with them and on the same gallery and company with these killers. And now you get stabbed or cut. You see how wrong this is? Now they're fighting this. They're going through a child support reform because this is what they're doing is illegal, and we're gonna get into a lot of it. Now, when you go to family court, my suggestion, the first thing you do is get a lawyer. That's the first thing you need to do is get a lawyer because there are rights that you have that you don't know you have. And they never told me this. My lawyer actually never told me this. He never said, oh, you got rights. This is your rights. This is what you got to look out for. No, they just said, I got it and I'm gonna work out with you because the courts gave me a lawyer But initially they didn't. This was like actually on child support. No, excuse me. I did have a lawyer the first time, but going through visitation, I didn't have a lawyer. But we'll get into all of that too as well. But your lawyer is going to subpoena the mother's records or the father's records if they're employed. Now, this is so funny and this is weird. They get anything your name is on and anything the mother name is on. When it talks about money, it gets to the lawyer hand. This is called the discovery motion. So if you ever get into that, you tell your lawyer, listen, we want to discover. And if you're already on child support, after you hear this, I think you might want to go back, and lower that thing down. Now look, since most women who put men on child support, they have maybe 2 jobs, they're making more money, doing a whole lot of overtime. Now this can work bad for her. Why? Because they go by how much money she make and how much money you make. Now, if she's making way a lot more money, you pay less child support because she can take care of the children. Of course, you have to pay, but she's making enough. They're not going to make you overpay so she can have money in her pockets to go have fun. You see how that works? That's why you need a lawyer. So the more money you make, the more child support you pay. So most men, what they do after being put on child support, they quit their job because they know what the court is going to do. You cannot make any money living in this country on child support because the way the property value is right now in society, you can't even pay rent to live at a one bedroom apartment. You paying damn near what, $1,000, $1,500, if that. So let's say you making how much money? $2,000 a month, and then how much you got to pay for child support? Let's say $600, and then you got light, you got gas, and you got rent. There's no way you're going to be able to survive. There's no way, and the course is anticipating that. You see, because when you miss payments, they charge interest attached to your back payment. Every time you miss a payment, there's interest. As a matter of fact, every time you pay, there's a service fee of $25. You see what I'm talking about? They're getting money. It's a service fee. This is not free. For them, they happy. They don't have to do nothing. All they have to do is fill out some paperwork and give it to the courts. Now you mad. This is why most men don't pay child support. It's a scam. It's a scam to make them rich. They also get kickbacks every year. Every $5 they have to transfer to you from child support. I mean, every dollar, they get $5. So is public assistance. Every time public assistance have to give you, mom, the money since you on child support, or father, same thing. Every time they give you $1, the government gives them back $5. So mother, they love to give you public assistance when you're on child support. They making big money. Big money. Now the next thing you may want to do on child support, right? One of the other things they look at also is, is school credit. So if, like, for example, in my situation, my children was going to private school. And she was like, oh, I pay $650 a month. Just stop it right there. That's entirely up to you. That's your issue. You decided to take them to private school. That has nothing to do with the father. If you can't afford to put them in public school. But if you are helping of paying that bill, they take that into consideration. That's a credit. If you pick them up and you're traveling and you're having fun and you're spending transportation money and you're buying clothes, that's a gift, but they call it credit. Okay? Because every time you see your child and you taking them out, it all costs. Everything that you do on the side, outside of child support, financially, that's called credit. So they look at that. Okay? So don't think that you just go in there and they just tell you to pay this. No. But if you don't have a lawyer, because see, when you don't have a lawyer, this is what happens. They never ask for the mother's background when it comes to finances. They all look at you, the fathers or the mothers, if you're on child support. They all look at you. They don't look at the mothers. Or they don't look at the petitioner, put it like that. Okay. So now, if you don't have your lawyer there and and they don't have their finances there and they're just talking about you, you're in trouble, especially if they already have your finances in front of them. Now they make a judgment on whatever they want to give the mother. For far as they know, she making $500,000 a year, but they don't know because they ain't asking for it, but they're asking for yours. You see how next thing you know, you paying an arm and a leg, and she's like, yeah, that's my DR, my PR money right there. Because the children already taken care of. She got the money. That's why it's important for you to get a lawyer. Low income is a credit, of course. If you can't afford it, disability is a credit. You can't afford it. You cannot afford it. You cannot, as long as you are unemployed or you have a low income, you will pay the amount pretty much $25. And your service charge, instead of 25, will be $12.50. You see how that goes? Now, the crazy thing about this is that paying this child support, you can also do your late fees. Of course, you don't have to always pay on time. You don't have to pay all of it on time. But now here's the catchy thing. And this is real shaky. Depending on your location in the state, they will put you in jail for not paying child support. In New York City, you could get away with it. It's okay. You could get away with it in New York City because New York City has so many stores. It has so many locations with things that you can buy. It's landmarks everywhere. New York City is an expensive place to live because New York City has money. But you have places like upstate New York where they're not so fortunate. They don't have money like that. So they need the money coming in from child support because it helps in the community. Example why I say that? Sometimes when mothers get paid, let's say they supposed to get $500, right? And they will get $100. And where the hell is my money at? They took your money and they invested it into whatever they doing with their politicians or whatever business they got going on in the department, because that's the Department of Health. You see how that goes? And then, mom, you crying, you mad. Where the hell is my money? Don't worry, it's coming. Something went wrong. They're not telling you, but they're holding it. And then they will give you the money later on. This is what they do. Now, like I said, if you don't pay it, depending on where you at, they will put you in jail. They came after me. Anytime I'm over $200 or probably $210, they send me a letter in the mail. Say, oh, you're going to jail if you don't pay this on so and so time. Now, this is how they catch you. And this how I wish I had a copy of the paper. Because they always send it to me. And this is what I do. Oh, yeah? Okay. I pay what I want to pay. If I want to pay $5, I pay $5. Next day, I pay another $5. Next day, I pay another. You can't put me in jail for making payments. Tactic. You can't put me in jail for making payments. I don't care if I put 50 cents. I'm making payments. It is what it is. You do not have to pay the entire fee every time they come up. Now, if you want to, that's entirely up to you. If you and your children's mother or father has that type of communication and you're well off and you feel like you can afford it, then that's cool. Some people, they don't do that. They're like, hey, what the hell? Especially if you're not seeing the child, because you got brothers out there like myself. We paying for children that we don't even see. Some bitter shit, but it's some real stuff that's going on out there, So they will come after you. Now, what they do is they send you this paper, child support, and they tell you to listen. You haven't paid so and so time. You have until, let's say, next week, whatever date, the 27th to pay, right? The 20th, let's say that, right? And if you don't pay it in full, that's what they emphasize full too. They want their money. They don't care about the mother. They want their money. If you don't pay it in full, then your license will be suspended. Your passport will be canceled. or you be placed in jail. You look at the letter, do not get shaken up. I used to get shaken up like, oh, here they come with this bullshit again. Do not get shaken up. What you do, you can just wait it out because they have to send you to court in order for the judge, the administrative judge, to actually grant that request to put you in a medium facility or a jail, such as you have it'll be a misdemeanor. Matter of fact, you don't even have a misdemeanor, but they're gonna put you in a prison. I mean, in a jail full of people that has misdemeanors, not felonies. You can't be around there. They want to put you in there with the so-called non-violent people who's committing crimes or misdemeanors, but yet they got a career criminal record of full of felonies and assaults and murders. You know what I'm saying? As if that's something, as if that's doing something different. You know what I mean? No, man. So that's what they do. Now, if you ever get locked up, right? Or they ever send you this paper, what you do is you contact the courts and you tell me, oh, listen, I can't pay right now, and they threatening to put me in jail and all this. I want a jury trial. What? What you said? Jury trial? Yeah. You can request a jury trial before they put you in jail. They have up to 180 days to put you in jail. Excuse me. While you're in jail, they could sentence you up to 180 days. Most times less. They'll give you something like 2 weeks. Might try to scare you up in the beginning, but you can request a jury trial. I never knew that. I said, what? Wait a minute. See how they confuse you? They said it's not a crime. It's not a criminal case. It's no real judges, but yet they have a jury trial, and yet they have they have lawyers. But this is all confusing, right? But that's what they do. It's all technology. That's what they do. If you don't know your rights, you don't know the ins and out of child support. This is how they get you. And then you sit up in there in jail, or you have a suspended license because you don't realize what was going on. They're not telling you your rights. That's not their job. Now, a lot of people think child support is for the mother. Even the mothers thought that. They had put a lawsuit in Arizona where 5 mothers was saying that that child support was taking their money, and child support said, but by law, we're not here for you or the child. And this is under US versus Sage. This is under Title 4D. This is law. They said, we are not here for the child or you. We're here to deliver money for you for the child, and you have to pay us. So mothers, while you on public assistance as well, those kickbacks you getting, those kickbacks, they're getting it. While they give you whatever money you get, you thinking you coming up, but they got a bigger come up. Look at this. Check this out now. In 1 year, they made $28.7 billion in total collections. That's throughout the whole child support agency across the country. $28.7 billion. They pay families $27.6 billion. And they get a kickback on their caseloads of $13.6 billion. Damn. And they collect, as I said, $5 off of every payment, which is now $12.50 or $25, right? And they have $1 billion left over for free. These are called bonuses. This is where the administrative judges and the district clerks and people that work in the child support, they get bonuses. They get extra money for this. So moms, dad, they want you to come down there. They want you to put child support. That's why they stick the acknowledgement of paternity right in your face. They set you up from the door and catch you while you're vulnerable. And then you sign your life away. Now, one of the things that you shouldn't do if you don't want to go through this, because they say it's three of the worst types of child support, right? 3 of the worst times. Yo, I tell you, when I be studying this stuff, I be like, God damn, man, I'm fortunate. You know, I am. Now, the number one worst type of child support is a person that's taking care of a child that's not theirs. Oh, that shit hurt. Because now you're in a relationship with a woman, you thinking she loyal, she love you and everything. Tactics against child support. Listen, you thinking she love you, right? Like, this is wifey. She be holding me down. I don't need to take no DNA or not sign. Yeah, I'm gonna sign the paternity right here. And then you go through what you're going through, and child support come because you don't need paternity tests because you already signed it. But you now find out that this is not your kid. You do a DNA test later on in life. Maybe the child stop looking like, well, was never looking like you, was always looking like the mother. But as time going, people are really in your ear now. Like, yo, I think you better check this out. You go check it out. Come back, the baby's not yours. What do? It's nothing you can do. You're trapped. Why? Because you already signed the acknowledgement of paternity. You agreed to child support. It's on it. Anything happens, you agree to child support. It's on the paper. It's on the paper. It's on the paper. So my suggestion is, prior to signing that, you should take a DNA test. All fathers. Now, I'm not trying to put the battery in nobody back, because I know this is kind of like, this is a touchy subject to want to bring this across to the woman you love. Imagine you bring this up like, yo, I want to do a DNA test. She's going to look at you. She's going to feel offended. Like, we've been planning this all this time. Now you want to what? So most guys don't ask for that. But in this day and time, the way things is going in child support, in the court system when it comes to kids, I might suggesting this. I think you should. I think you should. That's entirely up to you if you want to do it, you know. But that's the worst kind of child support. That's the number one worst kind of child support. Being on child support, taking care of a child or children that is not yours. Dang. Make you don't even want to have children after that. I know I probably wouldn't. I'd be like, nah, hell no. Because after that, you know you're not even going to want to see the child. You're not. You're going to feel hurt. You're going to feel offended. You're going to feel like the family lied to you. You ain't going to want nothing to do with the child. And if you do be around the child, you got to see, every time you look at the child, you got to think about the betrayal. Can you treat the child fairly? Some can, some can't. Like I said, this is the worst kind of child support, especially when you're in a hole and you can't pay it. And now they suspending your license. They putting you in jail for a child that's not even yours. Damn. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, please. The second worst type of child support is being a stepfather to children, and the father's name is not on the birth certificate, and you decide to adopt them. Oh, no. Now, I'm not saying, oh, no, that's a bad thing, because I have children who people consider as my stepchildren, but I don't care. Those are my children because I take care of them. I'm the only man in their life taking care of them. That's my children. Now, I know if things don't work out, I'm going to always see them. They at the age now, they could call me anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? But for fathers or mothers, well, fathers, yeah, and mothers who decide to want to adopt these children, and you put your name on the Jane Hunt card, especially if they ask you, like, yo, you've been taking care of me all my life. Yo, mom. And I call you, mom, why don't you just adopt me? And so anything happens, you have all rights. Get that? You have all rights. And fathers hear that, they be like, damn, that makes a lot of sense. But then they don't work out with the father or the mother. Now, guess what? They get bitter. Child support. Now you paying for child support. Now, if these children are so young where you have no control of their movements, you may not see them ever again. Now you pay for children you don't even see. Children that's not even yours, that you knew wasn't yours. children that you was taking care of for several years, happy in love with them, and now that you separated, you can't even see them because the father or the mother is on some bull crap. That's the worst type of child support. That is the worst type of child support. Actually, that was one and that was two and three. Excuse me, that was two and three because you could adopt them and be in their life, or you could just pretty much just be in their life and you get married, and next thing you know, as again, you adopt them because that's exactly what you're gonna be doing, and then you spending all this money taking care of them, and then you're no longer with them, and you may feel that you was paying child support all these years for nothing. I remember I was in a relationship like that. Actually, that was my first marriage. It was my first marriage, and I took a liking to the children. I considered them mine. I was taking care of them, or helped taking care of them. And then the father wasn't around. And as we broke up, actually, when the relationship got estranged, me and the children relationship got estranged. Because sometimes when you break up in a relationship, the children are going to side with the mother or the father, depending on who's actually really raising them, on who has actually custody of them. They're going to side with them, and it's all by right. It's of course it's going to happen because they was there since they birth. So you can't feel a way about that. But of course you are because it's natural. It's your feelings. So those are the worst kind of child support. So like I said, for those of you that want to put your John Hancock on these acknowledgement of paternity, my suggestion to you before you do that is take a DNA test. As a matter of fact, bring the conversation up after this. Like, hey, we planning something. Oh, you mind? I just want to just for my safekeeping. Oh, you don't trust me? No, it ain't about trust. It's about safety. That's all. It's about safety. You know what I mean? You do that at the hospital all the time. They tell you, yeah, read this before you sign it. It's all about safety. Because child support they will kill you. They will drive you nuts. And they will put you against the mother and the mother against the father. Because they make her life difficult because they're not even giving her all the money. They holding it. So she's in the jam because she was counting on them. Now she beefing about you because you's a piece of shit. You ain't coming to take care of these kids. And you ain't. Now you got more drama. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. Okay. One of the things you don't want to do as well, do not pay child support with gifts. Don't think, oh, I owe her this and I'm gonna give her $50 and we're gonna call it cool. Nah, it don't work like that. Don't ever any money you give the mother in their hands or the father in their hands is considered a gift. They could do whatever they want to do with that money. You pay online and you keep a copy. Always keep a copy because sometimes their computer systems don't work right. I seen this happen to my brother. They told my brother he owed 500 and something dollars. I said, what? He said, yo, this is impossible. He went down there with a whole duffel bag full of receipts. And it was luckily that he kept the receipts because they found the error. He said, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Morgan. That was he was like, yeah, all right. And they was ready to put him in jail. Now imagine if he didn't have the receipts. He been up Schitt's Creek. I learned that. I said, oh, okay. So I keep my receipts. I keep all my receipts. You know what I mean? Now, the other thing you don't want to do is overpay. You do not want to overpay. Pay what you owe. Don't say, oh, I'm going to pay $50 ahead of time because it's $25. Don't do that because what they're going to do is send you back your 25 and it may take a minute. It may take a minute. Next thing you know, you get another bill and you say, wait a minute, I just sent them $50, but the 25 didn't clear out their system coming back to you. So now you upset like, yo, what's going on? Now you calling and you beefing because you thinking you paid. Yeah, but you overpaid. Never overpay. It's a waste of time. You'll be happy. There's a lot of headaches. Okay. Okay, let's see. Do not make the number one dumbest mistake on as when it comes to child support. Men, ladies, do not, do not put yourself on child support. Please don't do nothing stupid like that because you just putting yourself in a hole. Child support is not designed to help nobody but themselves. You put yourself on child support because you thinking you beating the person at the head of their game. No, you just putting yourself in a whole bunch of bullshit. Trust me. After what you just heard, you putting your whole self in a lot of bullshit. Okay, so you don't want to do that. Let the mother or the father put you on child support. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Because what you're doing is you waking up the dad. If he or she is not putting you on child support, why the hell you doing it? Don't do that. Do not do that. You will be in credit card debt real fast. That's what child support is. Credit card debt. Because that's what it's equivalent to. That's what it's equal to. A car note and credit cards. It's all it is. A debt. It's a bill. That's all child support is. It's like a cell phone bill. Don't hear child support and thinking, yeah. I hear people say that, yo, I pay my child support. Don't be proud of that. That ain't nothing. You can't take care of a child with child support. You got to do that personally. You know what I'm saying? Child support is just a bill. That's all I call it. I call it a light bill. Y'all all right? Y'all all right out there? All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, when you get served with these documents, right? The child support documents, go to the last page on the back, and it should have a signature there that says that it was signed by the deputy clerk or the district clerk. It cannot be signed by nobody else. It cannot even be signed by the judge. Because see what child support does when they fill out the petition, they go to the deputy clerk, and the deputy clerk has to sign it and stamp it. And then it gets into the judge's calendar. Doesn't go to Joe Blow or some judge seen it and signed. No. If it's not signed, excuse me. If it's not signed by the deputy clerk or the district clerk, it's invalid. Don't even show up to child support. Don't even waste your time. Okay? Now, they have the proof of service. That means when they say you're served, they tell you to sign, they might take your picture. If they don't do any of that or you get it in the mail, don't go. Tactics against child support. Because you have to be served with this, you have to sign it, and they have to take a picture. Because the courts have to have proof of service in order to put a warrant out for your arrest to appear to court if you don't come. Listen what I said, to appear, not a warrant to go to jail, to appear. So in other words, let's say I was supposed to go to court yesterday and they knock on the door right now and say we got a warrant for family court. I go straight to family court. I'm sitting there in a little cage, not where the criminals is at. And then they call my name and they tell me whatever, and then I go home. Okay? That's the warrant. Now, they can also send it to you in mail anonymously. Let's say the mother, it happened to me. The mother don't want you to know the address, which is so damn dumb. How you gonna have someone do it anonymous, but you have a child with them? How are you supposed to go pick up the child if you don't have the address? Oh, I don't want you over here. I don't want you to see on my lip. That is so childish. I don't know why people do that. like it's gonna be hidden, like it's top secret. Like you're never gonna find out where the mother or the father lives that has your child. But they do that at court, anonymous, right? So of course they asked me, "Do you want to be anonymous?" I said, "Well, hell yeah, she did it. I did it. Hey, you don't want me knowing where you live, so you ain't gotta know where I live either." And we used to pick up my children on mutual grounds. But this happens. So the courts will send it in the mail. Now, if it's coming from the courts, 9 out of 10, they're going to say you got it. So it's best for you to show up. But if she got or he got Joe Blow coming to get, please get out of my face. This is why if you ever see people get served, they never go. And they be like, what happened? I don't care. I ain't go. They never got arrested. Because you have to have proof of service. Proof of service. Not saying you mailed it to him or you gave it to his cousin, or you came to the door, he wasn't there, you gave it to his mother. It doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so that is the tactics against child support. Now, if they also know, because this happened to somebody I know. Now, if they also know that you will serve this, what they can do instead of putting you in jail, they can make a default judgment. Yeah, they could say, okay, you ain't coming, but we know you got proof of service. You get another letter in the mail. Okay, well, you got to pay $150 in child support. Then you're gonna be like, shit, I should have went. Now you like, shit, I should have went. Damn. But this is what they do. So it's best for you to go if the court send it to you anonymously. So when they send it to you, you're like, yo, I gotta go. Because they can rule a judgment without you even being there, without you even defending yourself, without you. All they looking at is what you making. Okay. Now, I already tell you one of the tactics to get around that was the paternity, acknowledgement of paternity. The other thing is you can get around with that tactic. It's say, okay, I've seen guys do this. They quit their job and then they become self-employed and they get a 1099. A 1099 is a person that's a freelance worker. You're self-employed. You only make money when people call you. So you can actually doctor, excuse me, let me choose the right word. You can situate your work schedule the best way you know how and your payments. So if the court said, well, you need to bring your records for payments. Okay. But they won't even ask you that. You know why? Because you have to be an employee to get child support. An employee. An employee. If you're not an employee, you won't pay the child support you think you'll pay. You will pay $25 a month. Look, they out there like, yo, I'm about to get my 1099 on right now. I'm about to go back to child support. I'm about to talk about this credit. Your Honor, you never talked about credit on record. They got to talk about it on record. What you mean? Let's talk about my credits on record because I want to lower my child support. Trust me, whoever got child support on you and you do that, they're gonna be mad. They don't be mad. You see what happened with 50 and all that? She was mad. He was paying her $1 million. But they saw how bitter she was. Said, what? And he's giving you this a month? No, actually, he was giving her, he gave her, he was giving her like a $500,000 a month or something like, no, excuse me, he was giving her $50,000 a month. And she wanted more. Because that vitamin water money kicked in. He got that 100 million. You know how it is. People in your ear after that, girl, you better go get that vitamin water money. He just got 100 million. And she went in there and the judge was like, oh, you try to be thirsty, McGirt, and you living in the house that he's paying for? Oh, no, miss. She got $6,000 a month. And that's still good. Because I wish I could get a $6,000 a month check. You know what I mean? So she was still good, but she was on a different level with the money, so she wanted more. But try to go back to child support, man, and get your stuff lowered down, men and ladies, because it's important. You have rights. You have rights. All those pictures and on your phone you done took with your children and going here and going there. Yeah, man. Talk to your lawyer about that. Another thing too, when you go to child support, don't let them bring up your criminal record. They try to do that to me. The lawyer, she tried to come up there and say, oh, Your Honor, well, he has a criminal history. Soon as she said criminal history, the judge said, stop right there. This is not criminal court. This is family court. If you want to talk about his criminal record, I suggest you do it when he catch a case for a crime. So that was out there. My children's mother ain't like that shit. Because that was the whole plot. Because they wanted at that point, they wanted full custody. So they try to bring up your criminal record. Nah, that ain't got nothing to do with that. So even if on child support, they try to paint a bad picture of you. Don't bring up no criminal, none of that. You stop that right then and there. All right? No, Your Honor, I object. Yo, listen, that's crime. That's criminal. We not here at criminal court. We at family court. And it was shut down real fast. You know? What else I got for you? What else I got for you here? Well, I know I was talking about visitation rights and everything. Um, Visitation rights, man, and paternity. Well, we already touched on the paternity. So after that, you could do visitation rights, which is pretty much a waste of time. That's a whole different step from child support. It normally is paternity first. Like if you're gonna put child support in and the father name is not on the birth certificate, you have to do paternity first and you have to do the visitation at the same time. Um normally Normally the visitation, like I said, is a waste of time. It's just telling the mother what she has to do or what she should do, and you agree to it, and she go okay, and then they go back. You go back home, and then you at each other next because she not bringing a child here, and you're not getting the child, or and vice versa. This is why it always takes the next step to child support. Like you ain't trying to see your children, you're not trying to take care of, then it's child support. All is a waste of time. It just gearing you up so they could get money. They get kickbacks when they go to the paternity test. They do paternity. They get kickbacks when they do the visitation hearing. They get kickbacks when they do the child support. They love that. And then when they put you in jail for not paying child support, look, check this out. Do you know that they get paid for you being in jail? Oh, baby. They quick to put you in jail because they get paid more for you in jail than you on the street. Check that out. They can't wait to put you in jail. But like I said, visitations is just a waste of time because you you really ain't gonna have the right to say anything when it comes to seeing a child. I mean, you have rights. Don't get me wrong, you have rights. As a matter of fact, once you start getting visitation, 9 out of 10, you have joint custody. You have joint custody, not full custody. They try to get me for full custody. That wasn't gonna happen. It wasn't gonna happen. Because the first time I got out of jail, the first week I was going to see my daughters. But matter of fact, I got served 2 weeks before I got out. I said, God damn. That means person was just waiting and stalking me for years until I get out. You know what I'm saying? But visitation, you it's just gonna drive you crazy. To dead ass. It's you and the mother has to have a common and mutual understanding for you to see your children. Do not go to court for that. You're wasting your time. Not only that, you're going to be losing money because you got to take a day off from work to go down there for some bull crap that's not even going to work. And you probably be on child support too already, if that. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to do that. It's a waste of time. And I know some of y'all out there saying, yeah, but you got to fight somewhere. You got to fight somehow to get your children, to see your children. Don't give up. I understand that because I'm in that situation, but I don't see them. Not that I don't want to. It's because if I keep pushing the issue, somebody's gonna go to jail, and somebody's gonna go to jail for assault. And I'm not talking about me assaulting their mother. I'm not that type of dude. But I know if I'm up there and I'm trying to see my children, you're not gonna stop me if I'm there, which means you're gonna pick up the phone and you're gonna call whoever, maybe 911. Now I might go to jail, or you might call some superheroes, and then a fight break out, somebody get hurt or somebody get killed. You see what I'm saying? This is why I take that step, and a lot of other people they take that step because somebody gonna end up dying because you're taking somebody's child away. This is what's in the Bible. This is God given. I really don't understand people that do this, especially people that say they Christians and they go to church and they do all of this and they say hallelujah and praise God's name every Sunday. Then when they go home, they deny the children from seeing their father. And you was just in church. You were just in the mosque. You were just in the synagogue, praising all this about God. And God's most greatest gift is children. And you use his gift as a weapon and use it against the man. First and foremost, do you know when you have a child, ladies, you are the first nurse, you are the first teacher to the baby, and you are the first and only mother to that baby. And at that time, you get bitter somewhere along the way, some of you, not all of you, and you become the first liar to your baby, and you become the first enemy of your baby because you remove his or her parent from her life without her permission or her say so, without her even getting to know the parent. Check that out. That's some heavy stuff. You become the first enemy and the first liar to your child. And then when your child grow up, you start lying while the father or the mother is not there. You start spooning these lies in their head. And then they grow up with this perception because you told them, because you bitter. That's some heavy stuff. It's heavy when a mother actually tells the father, I'm bitter because you're not in my life and you in that other woman's life. And you giving her everything that I was supposed to have. You're raising her children. You're buying them clothes, school clothes, Christmas clothes, or Christmas gifts, excuse me. And I didn't get that. So now I'm bitter. So I'm going to make it worse for you. Some fathers do the same thing. Mothers on drugs, they have the child. Another woman steps in the picture. They want the woman to be the real mother and keep the mother out on the outskirts. Now the mother gets herself together, clean up. She got herself all better, got her own apartment, got a job. Now she comes back with her A game back on. And now you don't want her to see the child because you remember when she was doing this and doing that. That's evil, man. I don't know how some people can do that. I really don't. I let children. I rather let children make up their own mind. Me, these are not. Excuse me. These are not my biological children. But I would never tell them don't speak to their fault. They bring them up. I don't say nothing. I don't say nothing negative because I'm not supposed to. I'm not supposed to. That's not what a man do, and that's not what a father's supposed to do. You sit back and you let the children make their own decision. That's one of the things that I like about um not child support, visitation and paternity. Pretty much definitely visitation because your child gets their own lawyers. The mother can't get the lawyer for the child. The courts appoints the lawyers for the child. They don't want the mother saying anything, and they pull them to the side and they talk to the children about their parent. You want to see your mother, you want to see your father. You don't, why? And then they'll get okay, cool. Now, if they say, "Yeah, I want to see my father," I don't care. No, I don't receive calls from them. I don't know why, but yet you hearing the father's trying to call it, so they already pretty much know what the problem is. So I would never do that. I always try to support people to be a father. You know what I mean? No matter what, even if your child don't want to speak to you, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Your child didn't make you, you make them. Go make some more. That's all. That's how I look at it. Go make some more. You know what I'm saying? You reached out. It's but so much you can do. Don't let nobody mess up your life. You enjoy your life. Child support, it gets a lot of people into trouble. It's not the end of the world. Okay, there's tactics that you can use. You know what I'm saying? This not what I just said. You could go because what I just said didn't even scratch the surface. There's a whole lot more dealing with child support because it's a gimmick. It's a scam. You know what I'm saying? It's a scam like paternity fraud. And the paternity fraud is what I mentioned before when the mother says you're the father, and then you go up there and you sign the paternity thinking you're the father. That's what they call paternity fraud. No, you don't get arrested for that. And that's a damn shame. There's a lot of men out there like that right now, paying child support for a child that ain't theirs. Damn. I mean, yo, ladies, I ain't gonna lie. I think y'all the worst when it comes to child support, man. No, because yo, y'all know the type of things that y'all want to do to men and put men in a jam. You know what I'm saying with child support, and that's what child support is. It's a jam. It's a jam because everything is going up in this country, but your wallet. You're not getting a raise to the point now where you got to get a third job. I mean, a second job, excuse me. You got to get a second job now. Now, check this out. You got a second job because you have to pay child support. You backed up. You backed up in your rent. You backed up in your bills. You can't keep begging people because one thing about beggars, nobody wants beggars around them. You already know when you get a text, yo, you got $10, you act like you won't even see the text. Because nobody likes a beggar. It ain't that you don't want to give it to them. Nobody dislikes a beggar. Especially every time you come around, you have to ask for something. As soon as you call, nobody answer your phone call because nobody likes a beggar. So now you got this job and you working 8 hours here, then you got to work another 6 hours there. When do you have the time to see any child now? See what I'm saying? See where it's going? When do you have time to see any child? You don't. You don't have no time. You got to work here. You got to work here. And since you got the second job now, your hours on your time from seeing your children has altered because now you're working because she don't put you on child support. So you're on the plantation working from next to nothing because once your check comes, it's getting garnished. Well, it gets garnished from the first job. They can't touch your second check. That's why most fathers who's on child support, they get a second job. You can't touch your second check. If you get SSI, they can't touch that because that's disability. That's not an income. Okay, that's not income. Now, SSID, Social Security disability, is when you are an employee or were an employee and you work for a certain amount of time and you're retired and now you get the SSI. You get the Social Security. That's SSID. Every time you get a check, goes to child support too. Every time you gamble online and you have to make your debit card and all that, and you put in, yeah, child support. If you have put your social on that, child support. Yeah. Anything you have to put your social security number on or any podcast, whatever you got going on, and you getting these checks, child support. Yep, child support. So I ain't worrying about that. 1099 for this podcast, baby. 1099 for this podcast, baby. You ain't gonna get me like that. I've been running the streets for so long. Come on, man. You just not gonna get me like that. A scammer can't scam a scammer. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that that's what I do for a living, but I come from a world of scammers. I come from a world of liars. I come from a world of hustlers. I come from a world of survivors. So when you start putting me into these court systems and all that stuff, man, I start hitting the books. I start hitting law library. You know what I'm saying? And that's what caused me to go through all of this because I was quiet for a minute and then I kept getting hit in the head by child support. I said, you know what? I got to go deep into this. Well, now I know that there's no need for me to go back there because they ain't going to get nothing but they saying $25 a month. And I pay it when the hell I feel like it. Because I know that little bit of money cannot take care of my children. But I know she's all right. I mean, according to the word on the street. So my little $25 and stuff, it doesn't matter. But I pay it. So I don't want y'all out there thinking about, oh, you on some deadbeat stuff. No, I'm not on some deadbeat stuff. We should be careful when we use the word deadbeat. You know what a deadbeat is? A deadbeat is a person that can't pay their bill. That's a deadbeat. Have you paid your credit card bill lately? Still owe? Deadbeat. What about your light bill? Deadbeat. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you owe and you haven't paid yet, that's how the company's looking at you. They're like, yeah, we got another damn deadbeat. Then they ask you, they may call you and say, well, you want to do a working plan? That's what they talk to deadbeats about. You want to do a working plan? Because you can't afford it. You know? So that's my tactics against child support. So please utilize it well. Because child support is a scam. So it's best for you to go and research it. And if you already been paying, maybe it's time for you to go back. Maybe it's time for you to get a lawyer and ask for a discovery motion and start pulling up these receipts that she been making when it comes to money and match it with yours. Now, if you making more, maybe you might not want to do that. On your second job, you might not want to do that. You might just want to be like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Because, there's certain things I say on here, certain things I can't say on here. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you out there living healthy and not broke. I'm not rich, but I'm not poor. But I'm not broke. How Max B said it. I'm not rich, but my money's respected. I put it like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, child support is a death trap. So, like I said, be careful who you're dealing with. Um, but then again, you can't even really be careful like that because when you get with somebody in the beginning, they always put that image up that they're not perfect, but they're right for you. And sometimes in a relationship, what I realized too, you will never know until after birth because women could go through that. What is it? Postpartum? What is it? What is it? Ladies, help me out here. I know you online. Help me out. Postpartum. It's something like that when you start going through things after the birth. A great depression, and it changes the relationship because now you don't want to be around the dude no more. You don't find him attractive no more, and y'all start arguing, and things get ugly. You know what I'm saying? And while it's getting ugly, the courts it makes it more uglier. They just did a divide and conquer and get money. That's all it is. You don't have to go, ladies, men. Y'all don't have to do child support. You don't have to do visitation. All you have to do is talk it out. If the man don't want to be there and she don't want to be there, you cannot force somebody to be there. Let them go. God brings people in our lives for a moment sometimes. Sometimes God brings people in our lives to teach us a lesson. Sometimes God brings a child in your life to teach you a lesson about fatherhood. So the next time you do get into a situation of being a father or a mother, you know how to go about it. You know what the things to look for. You know the signs now because you experienced the bullshit that you was going through when you was on child support. Now, when you meet a man and you meet a woman, you start really vetting them out. They start talking about moving in and start having a family. You start really, really vetting them out because things change when you start a family. Things change when you move in and have a family. How do you know? Because I'm married. I'm a prime example. I always tell my mans this. I said, listen, if you want to have children or you're going to get married, really be serious about this because it can drive you crazy. I'm going to say this again. Be careful of who you marry and who you plan in the future with because it can be stressful, especially when you get married. Because when you move in, things change. You no longer have privacy. You no longer have the constitution that you used to have when you was living by yourself. You have another constitution and it deals with a family now. It's not about you no more. Certain things you can't do no more. Certain ways you can't move no more. And I say that because sometimes when we have children, we still want to keep up the lifestyle we had. And sometimes this is what causes us to get to child support. So don't get me wrong. There's ladies out there that's good, and there's also a lot of men out there that is on some real piece of shit stuff. They get into this life, and I was a prime example. I had to start having my children, and I try to hold on to the life that I had, and you can't do that. You can't go partying and coming home 3 a.m. no more like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Every now and then it's good, but you have a family. You got money that has to be going places. Outside, every time you step outside, it's expensive. I love going outside and I hate it at the same time because every time I go outside, I got to use my card. And things get crazy when you're trying to keep that old life that you used to have. Because now when you come home, there's controversy in the household. There's money that's missing because you're spending it out there. You hanging out with all the wrong people. And you're probably out there womanizing, doing the same things you was doing with the baby mother. And she already knew that from the jump, like it was something new, but she gonna drive you up the wall behind it. You know what I'm saying? And this will cause you to go into courts. This will cause things to get messy. So when you already messy from the streets and now you get into the courts, the whole objective is the lawyer don't want to lose, so they're gonna try to make it as messy as possible. Talking about we're there for you, we're gonna make sure things is gonna go right. But they're trying to make it where you can always come back, so they can always get money. That's what they do. I don't know, cause they did it to me. That's what they do. They always want you to come back, and if you're that's what they tell you at the end of the search. If you're not happy with the outcome, just come back. Just come back. Not telling you every time you come back they get paid. Mom, every time you come back they get paid. Mom, every time you put in for visitation again or the child support again, you got to take off a day of work. What happens if he don't come in? Do you lose money? It all affects us. There's no happy ending with child support. There's no happy ending with visitation. I mean, there's no happy ending somewhere with paternity because if you're doing this through the court, it's going to lead to madness. It's going to lead to madness. And this is why a lot of men abandon their children. No, real talk. This is why a lot of men abandon their children. It's not that they don't want to be a father. It's the shit they got to go through to be a father. No man wants to feel like he's a babysitter. I used to go through that. You pick up your child, you having fun, and then the mother calling you. Why are you calling me every time I'm with my children? It feels like you're in prison, you're being watched. This is what you do to babysitters. When you go off work and you call, hey, how you doing? Put them on, let me speak to them. You check in. That's what that's what you do to babysitters. Oh, you can't have them here. You can't take them there. You can't take them there. What? I take my child wherever I want to take them. I'm not saying that was directed to me, but I'm just saying hypothetically, this is what mothers do. And fathers feel like, what? I can't take them where? Oh, I can't. You can't have them around this female, but you got your man coming every night at your house. But you want to wait till my daughter or my son go to sleep for you to sneak your side booty in. I'm not saying me again, general, because this is what happens. This is what happens. And it gets things ugly. Like, no man wants to feel like that. Men want to be able to take care of their child. That's why we have joint custody, not full custody. When you have joint custody, you can do and take your child whatever the hell you want to take your child. But they try to put you sometimes against each other with that. You take your child wherever you want to take them. As a matter of fact, let me tell you how much rights you also have. She or he cannot take the child out of state without your permission. You have to have a letter with permission. You can't just leave. You cannot just get a passport, because if you go down and get a passport, they're going to say, do you have the father's permission? Do you have a letter? Yeah, you ain't know? Oh, yeah, pull up. Let me talk to you. Yeah. I remember my child's mother tried to get me with that. She said, I just want to know, I want to take them to Jamaica or some damn place. And I want to know if I can get a letter with your signature on it so I can take it down there to get their passport. I said, okay, no problem. I had a conversation with my brother. My brother was like, no, don't do that. I said, why not? I said, why not? I said, that's my daughter. That's her mother. I trust her. Me and her don't get along, but when it comes to my daughters, I know she's going to be down for them. I know she's going to take care of them. He said, don't do that. He said, because if you do that, she could fly them out the country and never come back. I said, oh, shit. I said, I got you. I'm not signing nothing. She never brought it up again. And I didn't bring it up because I wasn't signing nothing. And she would have got her feelings hurt if she would have brought it up. So if she takes your child or his or whatever child you have, and the other parent takes them out the country or out the state, hello, 911. I like to make a report of kidnapping. Kidnapping, yes. Now, she will get arrested, but she won't get arrested for an actual crime of kidnapping. But they will take the children away from her and place them in custody and bring them back to the States. Oh, yeah, she will be in handcuffs, or he will be in handcuffs. I don't think that it will actually be a criminal charge. I haven't read anything on that where it's a criminal charge. I only read that they will take the children and they will call the parent and says, come get your child, and they will hold her. Now, I wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? And I would hope some of you mothers out there and fathers out there don't do that, because you're going to force somebody's hand on doing that. If you make, especially if the man or the woman is not seeing their child, but you got them out of state visiting everybody else, that person might get bitter and lock your ass up. And if you get locked up and your job hears about it and they hear it was involving a child, you might lose your job. You might lose everything you worked hard for because you want to be bitter. So that's my suggestion. Don't do that. See, a lot of fathers here for the knowledge. See, yeah, wow, a lot of fathers don't know that. You can't just take a child out of state. But they don't tell you that. Yeah, they don't tell you that. You learn that. And you go, oh, she can't just take them out of state now. That's why also a lot of mothers who know about this, they don't take them to child support. They don't take them to visitation. Because once you get a visitation and becomes a joint custody, now it's rules to this shit. Now the court's giving you rules, which you can't do for the children that came out of your womb, because you want to be better, ladies. That's why I say it's not worth it. They dictate what they want with your child, not you. They tell you what you can do and what you can't do. Look at that. You can't even get a passport for your child. Me, wait till you're 18. That's how I look at it. Say, wait till you're 18. Yellow right out there. You hear anything, any crazy noise or anything? Sound? Trying to see. All right. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Please hit that subscribe button. But yeah, man. So you just got to be careful with this child support. All right, fellas. All right, and I really address it to the fellas. Most of it, it's good. All right, cool. And I mostly address it to the fellas because it's like I said, majority of us are the ones who are going on child support. You know what I'm saying? And it's bad because, in the man perspective, ladies, let me tell you how it goes with us. This is why another reason why a lot of us walk away. We can't pay. They trying to bleed us because they trying to get money from us. They ain't trying to make you happy. They give you some money just to make you happy and let you see what's going on, so they could break the father. Like I just said, once he get 2 jobs, he barely could see his child. So now the child is not in his life. Now you calling him a deadbeat or whatever. He don't want to be around his child because he don't see his child. Then you giving him hell. Now he goes to jail for not paying child support. Now the judge says, Mr. Morgan, I'm giving you 90 days. You put me 90 days on Rikers Island for a crime that's not even a crime? Well, not even a crime for something that's not even a crime. So I'm doing prison time, jail time for something that is not a crime. Now, while I'm in there for 90 days, guess what? I don't have a job anymore. So the 2 jobs I had, guess what? I get fired because they found out Mr. Morgan is in jail. Now I owe all this back child support. Now when I'm released, you telling me, okay, we're gonna knock it back down to 25 because you unemployed, but you have to pay all this in arrears. And what's so bad and so worse is that if you are in jail and you become a mess hall worker or a porter, the little pennies that they give you at the end of the week, they take some of that for child support. Look at this bullshit. So you might make $10 a week and they probably taking what, $4. You can't even work in jail. They're hitting you all around the board. So we get frustrated, ladies, and now we say, I wish I never had a child for this mother. Yo, I can't take this shit. Yo, I'm out. Yo, I love him, but I'm done. Say, yo, we done. We out. Fuck it. I make some more somewhere else. This is why most guys be having babies all over the place sometimes. I'm not saying all the time, sometimes. They said, fuck it. If I can't raise my child here, I'm gonna find another woman and raise a child. I'm gonna get my wish that God wants to give me. Because you took it away. Because you better. All right. So now you bitter and we get tired while you bitter and we break out. We ain't got time for this no more. We're done. Now the child grows up not knowing us. Because unknown to the child, they don't know that you were so bitter towards their father. That you pushed the father away. To the point where now he had to run away, to the point where now he's happy because he don't have the stress no more. He don't even want a job no more. Keep telling you, yo, the public assistance, I'm gonna be on public assistance for the rest of my goddamn life. I don't have a job. I ain't looking for one. You get $25 a month for the rest of your life now, and now the children doesn't have their father in their life because of the bullshit. I don't know why parents do that. As if they're making it any better. How is you making it life better without a father or a mother? A father and a mother needs to be in a child's life. If the child is a boy and he always growing up with the mother and the females all around in his family, 9 out of 10, that boy grows up to be very weak because he's tapped into his feminine side. So he start acting like a woman. And sometimes they turn into one. Am I right? So, there's something that we don't want to do because the man and a female needs to be present in the child's life because they need these two different energies. They need two different energies. The boy needs to see what kind of mother he has so he'll know what kind of woman he wants. And the girl, when she grows up and she has her father in life, she'll know what kind of man she wants because she see the example that her father is setting as a man. She says, I want my husband to be like my father. Or even not like that, but some of the qualities. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, y'all. All right. Yeah, so they want these qualities. Now, when these parents are not around, who the little girls got to look at as an example of a father? Who? As a man? Who? The side dude you keep bringing in and out the house? You be rotating boyfriends? Like you run around like Cardi B? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, when I say rotating, when I'm saying rotating, I'm not saying being a whore. I mean, you keep breaking up with dudes because in this day and time, listen, in this day and time, men is fucking and chucking them straight up. And a lot of men, this is one of the reasons why they don't want to be in a relationship with a woman that already has children. Because they don't want to go through that bull crap with the baby mama drama and the baby daddy drama, and especially if he sees how you treat the father.
oh, you definitely screwed. He definitely ain't dealing with you. And you should be careful too, because they asked question like this. Oh, so yo, what's up with the pops? And they listen. As soon as you start saying, oh, that bull, that nigga, this, that, I don't fuck with him, that. They listen. They like, what would he be doing? So they start hearing about he's taking care of this and he's taking care of that, but you doing this and you doing that, you ain't getting no kids from him. So guess what? The next guy comes and she sees this. She's like, damn. She don't even know what kind of man she wants now. So she go out there to say, I want a guy that she saw on TV that's acting. And now your daughter is for the community. Your son doesn't have that male figure in his life. He sees his dad. He sees his dad as the hero, but the dad is not there. So he don't know what it is to be a man. But he see it on TV because they're acting. But he can't be like that because they're acting. That's what people want to see in a man on TV. So the closest thing he finds to a man is on the streets. And then next thing you know, your son is cripping or blooding. Because there was none of those energies in the household. They were looking for a sense of direction. But since the parents were so at odds, they ain't know where to find it. So they just tossed the coin and they found it wherever they went. Wherever the coin landed, that's where they found their direction. They say sometimes the man can become, the boy that can become the father and a girl that can become the mother without directions. Some of us, our mothers were smuts. Let's keep it real. Some of our mothers was for the community. And we know it. And guess what? We grew up and then we became for the community. Men or female, it doesn't matter. Because men ain't no different. Men are for the community too. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep it real. And this breaks up households. So we got to get it together as parents. We got to do better. We got to talk it out. Stop letting the court system talk it out for us. They're not talking nothing out. They just give a solution to the problem that is really not a solution. The only solution they give is how you going to put money in their pockets. That's their solution. The rest, you figure it out. That's all that's there. You should know that when you fill out the paperwork to put people on child support or visitation and all that. Y'all all right out there? All right. Well, look, I'm about to go now. Thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna be coming back at y'all again. So with that being said, salute. God bless y'all. Y'all have a good day. And may God bless y'all for the rest of the week. Later.